Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, we present I Want Your Brain.
Charles, where is everyone?
Look around you, darling. There are plenty of people around. This hotel lobby is full of them.
I know, but what about at the check-in desk? Do you see anyone here?
No, but I'm sure it's easily fixed. Let's try the spell.
Hello. Welcome to the Hotel De Tete. I'm Renfrew, your front desk clerk. How can I help you?
Charles, look at him. He's so gnarled and ugly and...
Now, Wendy, don't stare at the poor man. Hello, Mr. Renfrew.
Just Renfrew, sir.
Yes, all right, Renfrew. Anyway, we're checking in.
The name, sir?
Mr. Charles Conklin, room for 2.
Ah, yes. Very good. And who will be the other party, sir?
My wife, of course.
When will she be arriving, sir?
What?
She's right here, Wendy Conklin.
Who did you think I was?
Very sorry, madam. How was I to know? I'm afraid that the hospitality training here for new employees is not what it was.
When were you hired?
13 years ago, sir. Now, if you could just fill out this form, sir. Here's a pen.
Okay. Say, what type of form is this? Why is it asking for blood type, medical allergies?
A local requirement, I'm afraid.
Really?
Very local, madam.
Here's your form. Did I fill in all the right stuff?
Oh, yes. Blood type B. That's very good, yes. It would appear everything is in order. Yes.
Excuse me, I couldn't help overhearing. Mr. Conklin, Mrs. Conklin, I'm Dr. Lawrence K. Bellingham, and this is my humble little hotel.
Humble, Dr. Bellingham? The help is a little unusual, but this is quite a grand and sumptuous hotel, if this lobby is any indication.
You're too kind, Mrs. Conklin. I understand, Mr. Conklin, that you're quite the computer expert.
Oh, well, now you're too kind, Dr. Bellingham. Yes, I do dabble in computers.
Oh, your reputation precedes you, sir. I should very much like to pick your brain at some time while you're with us.
I imagine we can arrange something.
Excellent. I look forward to it. In the meantime, I'll let you two get settled.
Paging Nurse Eloise Montague. Nurse Eloise Montague, you're required in the operating theater.
Did you hear that, Charles?
Is there a problem, Mrs. Conklin?
Did the page just say operating theater?
I think you misheard.
Paging Nurse Eloise Montague. Nurse Eloise Montague, you're required in the operating theater. Stat.
He did say operating theater.
Not operating theater. He said operating theater. This is a hotel. It would be silly to have an operating theater. But an operating theater makes sense. We can put on shows. Comedy night, cabaret night, bad lounge singers, that sort of thing.
Here are the keys to your room, Mr. and Mrs. Conklin. Room number 436.
Oh, great, thanks. Oh, look, dear, there's skeleton keys.
Oh, yes, how quaint.
Makes it much easier to get into the rooms, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Oh, don't worry about security. Nobody can get in or out.
Or out?
Yes, ma'am. You may have noticed that to one side of the hotel are the Alps, with sheer unclimbable faces, and on the other side a deep and treacherous ravine.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Oh, no, not at all. Oh, the entire cliff is protected with a 4-meter-tall electric fence and barbed wire.
Oh, I see.
Can we get some help getting our bags to the room?
Certainly, sir. Up front! Yes, sir. Can I help you to your room?
You just jumped over that. Did you see that, honey? He just jumped over Whoosh! Wow!
I practice a lot when I'm alone, sir.
But how? And where did you get that pillbox hat?
Oh, me bell cap? Oh, I got that from my dear old dad. Passed down to me from him through 4 generations. Now, can I take your bags?
Sure.
Room number? May I have your keys, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Ah, 436. Yes, one of our finest suites. Follow me.
Charles, this place is weird. I can't put my finger on it, but it gives me the chills.
Relax, Wendy. It'll be fine. We're in a different country where they have ways different from our own. You'll get used to it. Besides, Mrs. Ackerman at Tip Top Apney Pinnacle Travel said the hotel was rated at a 7-star on a 5-star scale.
Yes, you told me that when you booked it, but I'm not
Is everything all right, Mrs. Conklin?
She's fine. It's just a little jet lag, I expect. A good night's sleep, and she'll be as good as new. Room 436. Lead on, Renfrew.
Very good, sir.
Honey? Wendy, where are you?
I'm in the closet, hanging up our clothes. You know something, Charles? This is the biggest closet I've ever seen. You could get lost in here. Did you just wake up?
Didn't realize I was so tired. Did you get a nap too?
Yeah, just a little power nap. Did the trick. Was that the door, Charles?
Yeah, I'll get it. Yes?
Mr. Conklin, hello. I'm Eloise Montague, the hotel manager and Dr. Bellingham's Dr. Bellingham's personal assistant.
Who is it, Charles?
Ah, Mrs. Conklin, how do you do? Eloise Montague. I was just here to bring you some champagne. Compliments of Dr. Bellingham himself.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Oh, I love champagne.
Excellent. Allow me to open the bottle.
But we haven't had dinner yet. I don't think we should have any on an empty stomach.
Oh dear.
What? What's the matter?
Well, we do need a sound effect about now, just to prove that this is really a champagne bottle.
Oh, okay. Sure. Go ahead and open it.
Gee, I confess I'm surprised to see you delivering the champagne. I thought that would be left up to Renfrew.
Ah, yes. Well, he's off.
For the day?
No, just for 10 minutes. Labor laws around here require we give him 10 minutes off for every 24-hour shift. Can you believe that?
24-hour shift? So, what, does he work every other day?
No, he's here every single day.
Oh.
That's why we're forced to give him his 10 minutes. Anyway, here's your champagne.
Do you have any champagne glasses?
Oh, silly me. I completely forgot. I have 2 here in my pocket. There now. Drink up. We wouldn't want to disappoint Dr. Bellingham, would we?
Will you have some too?
Oh, no. I'm on duty. And besides, I can't stand this stuff. Frankly, it makes me break out in hives. But that's just me.
Right. Well, Wendy, darling, to another amazing vacation.
To our amazing vacation.
Oops.
You wouldn't happen to have 2 more champagne glasses, would you?
Well, I guess you'll just have to drink straight from the bottle.
Oh, I don't know if I really want
Dr.
to.
Bellingham would be so disappointed.
No, we can drink from the bottle, can't we, Wendy? Go ahead, take a swig.
Oh, that's very good. Even from the bottle. Here, Charles, have some.
Oh, yes, good. The bubbles really get up in your nose, but it's definitely good champagne.
I wouldn't know, but I'm told the bubbles are a sign of a good champagne. Please have some more. So, I hope the accommodations are to your liking.
Oh, yes, the room is wonderful. The closet is to die for.
Good gracious, Mrs. Conklin. I hope that's not something you're planning to do.
What? Oh, no. My wife is simply saying... Excuse me. She's saying she loves the closet.
Very good, then. So, you haven't encountered any problems?
Problems?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Conklin. Well, you know, mysterious problems, strange noises, screams in the night, blood on the walls, ghosts, that sort of thing.
Very funny, Miss Montague.
Mrs.
Right, Mrs. Montague. No, we haven't encountered anything.
No extraneous body parts lying around in unexplained places.
What?
Oh, not that there ever would be such things, but we want to make sure nothing like that spoils your vacation.
No, Mrs. Montague, we're fine.
Good, good. Well, I'll leave you to finish your champagne. Oh, and by the way, Dr. Bellingham would like to join you when you finish your dinner tonight. We've made arrangements for you to dine at 8. Is that all right?
Sure. What time is it now?
Going on 7.
Well, that gives us time for a little extracurricular activity before suiting up. Right, Charles?
Oh, yeah. Extra, you know, monkey business.
Monkey business.
You bought monkeys with you?
No.
We're talking about monkey businesses. Don't be a prude. You know what I mean. Of course you do.
Oh, well, I'll leave you to it.
Goodbye, Miss Morgenheiser, or whatever your name is.
Mrs.
Wow.
That was good, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm stuffed.
You are finished.
Renfrew, I thought you were just the maitre d' and the waiter.
I'm also the busboy, Mrs. Conklin. May I take your plates?
Sure.
Ah, Mr. and Mrs. Conklin, I see Renfrew's taking good care of you. How was dinner?
Dr. Bellingham, that was one of the most amazing meals I've ever had.
Good. I'll tell Renfrew you liked the food.
He cooked the food?
Renfrew is very adept and versatile. We do our best to feed him well, and he's learned so much since he came to us.
I should say so.
Forgive my presumptuousness, but would you mind if I joined you?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Oh, I had one question. What is it we were eating?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed when it turned out there was no menu as such.
Yes, one of our little conceits. We know our food is so good we can make all the decisions for you.
So what is it called?
Tonight's dish was cervelle au beurre blanc.
Oh, that sounds so exotic. What is it?
It translates roughly in English as brains in a white butter sauce.
Brains?
That's right, Mr. Conklin. I didn't know you spoke French.
Hey, neither did I. How did I know that?
Oh, maybe they were French brains.
A very clever suggestion. Oh, are you all right, Mrs. Conklin?
Yes, I think so. It's just that, well, I wouldn't have...
You wouldn't have eaten it if you had known what it was? Yes, we do get that reaction now and again. But you have to admit it was very good.
yeah.
Well, Doctor, I thought it was delicious. Not that I'd go out of my way to get it back home.
Mrs. Conklin, you're looking a little pale.
I think I have a little bit of a headache, Doctor. Not from the champagne, of course.
It's probably just the jet lag, sweetheart. Why don't we head on back to the room?
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
A moment, please. Mr. Conklin, I wanted to pick your brain for a few minutes before you retire, if that's all right.
Well, you don't need me. I think I'll return to the room now if you'll excuse me.
Certainly, Mrs. Conklin. Have a good night.
I'll be along shortly, dear.
Okay, see you.
A very beautiful woman. You're very fortunate, Mr. Conklin.
Forgive my abruptness, Dr. Bellingham, but what did you want to talk to me about?
Please, Mr. Conklin, the night is yet young.
Yes, master.
Renfrew, don't call me that. Not in front of the guests.
No, master. I mean, Dr. Bellingham.
Renfrew, 2 glasses of our best and oldest scotch. One for me and one for Mr. Conklin.
Immediately, Dr. Bellingham. Here's your drink, Mr. Conklin. And here is your drink, Dr. Bellingham.
Say, my drink looks kind of cloudy. What kind of scotch is this?
Here, I'll take the cloudy one.
Thanks.
Well, Mr. Conklin, as I believe you Americans say, down the hatch.
Oh.
Right. Down the hatch, as you say, we say. Smooth.
Yes, but it grows on you.
I see what you...
Dear Mr. Conklin, you're even more of a lightweight than I expected. Renfrew,
Yes, Dr. Bellingham.
Master will do now. He's out cold.
Yes, master.
Collect Mr. Conklin and take him to operating room number 1.
Of course, master.
And tell Miss Montague...
Mrs.
Sorry, Eloise. Renfrew, tell Mrs. Montague to put on her nurse's smock and meet me in operating room number 1.
At once, master.
Gently, Renfrew. Must I continually remind you? Gently.
Gently, indeed, master. Oops. Sorry, Mr. Conklin.
That's better, Renfrew.
Charles! What was that, Charles? Charles, are you awake? Did you hear that? Charles? Charles, where are you? What time is it? Where's a light switch? Oops, hope that wasn't valuable. I think that's the light switch. That's better. Charles? Guess he's still talking to Dr. Bellingham. Almost 3 o'clock. Great. Boy, it's kind of warm in here. Gotta open a window.
What? What are you doing? No! No, stay away from me with that!
Don't worry, Mr. Conklin. This will simply eliminate the pain. For a while, anyway.
No! No!
Oh my God! Phone! Oh, here it is.
Hotel operator.
Renfrew.
Yes, Mrs. Conklin.
Renfrew, where is my husband?
Yes. Mrs. Conklin, he and Dr. Bellingham are talking privately in the lounge.
Don't give me that lounge business. I know they're not in the lounge. I opened the room's window and I heard my husband and Miss Montague Mrs. Montague is with them. Now tell me, where are they?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Conklin. I'm forbidden to tell you.
Tell me, or I'll tell Dr. Bellingham that you did tell me.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, Mrs. Conklin.
You heard what I said.
Oh, no, Mrs. Conklin, I don't mean to be dense, but am I correct in understanding that you're saying you won't tell Dr. Bellingham that I told you if I tell you, but if I don't tell Dr. Bellingham, then you'll tell him I told you?
Yes, Renfrew, something like that. Don't make me come down there, Renfrew.
All right. He's in operating room number 1, in the basement next to guest room minus 117. Now, you promise you won't tell him I told you?
You have my word, just as I said.
Right. You're sure you understood what you promised, Mrs. Conklin?
Renfrew, I don't have time for this. I'm going to take the elevator down to the basement and rescue my husband.
But you can't.
Why not?
The elevator's being dismantled.
Fine, I'll run down the stairs.
Oh, but you can't. The doors on the stairwell are all locked.
Why?
Security.
Okay, I'll get the other guests in the hotel to help me break them down.
You can't.
Why not?
All the other guests are dead.
Oh. Well, never mind. I'll figure this out myself.
Hey, cut that out.
Yes, Eloise, let's be a little more respectful to our guest.
But Larry.
Dr. Bellingham, at least in front of the patients, guests.
Very well, Dr. Bellingham. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Now, Mr. Conklin, just relax while I give you this enormous injection.
Can't help it. I hate needles, and I've never seen one that large before.
You could just faint. Had you thought of that? No, I didn't think so.
Eloise.
Nurse Montague, at least in front of patients.
Guests, at least in front of the patients.
Oh, be honest, Dr. Bellingham. Patients.
Fair enough.
Look, if I might get a word in here, why do you have my head in this vice? What exactly do you want from me?
You might as well tell him, Dr. Bellingham. It won't make any difference 10 minutes from now.
Yes, I suppose you're right, Nurse Montague. Well, Mr. Conklin, you may have noticed I have a certain interest in brains.
If the cuisine around here is anything to go by, then yes, I see what you mean, but that doesn't explain...
Oh, but it does. You see, it's really quite simple. I want your brain.
You fiend!
Nurse Montague, would you be so kind as to tighten the vice a little? We wouldn't want Mr. Conklin making an unnecessary escape.
No, we wouldn't.
Ah!
Will that do, Doctor?
Admirably, Nurse, thanks.
So, you're just going to cut my head open and take out my brain?
Well, there are a few steps, like administering the anesthesia first, but you pretty much hit the nail, as it were, on the head.
I'll never let you take my brain!
Oh, I don't see that you have much choice in the matter. Besides, your head is in that vice, and I have a complete set of very sharp steak knives.
What can you possibly expect to gain by taking my brain?
More brains.
But I don't understand. What does that mean?
Ach, must I spell it out for you?
Yes, please.
You see, Mr. Conklin, I was a famous brain surgeon before the medical board read of my discoveries.
What discoveries?
In all modesty, when I say I was famous, ha! I was more than famous. I had no peer. Anyway, I was in great demand. So much so that I was forced to double up in operations. It was not unusual for me to perform 2 operations concurrently.
You mean 2 patients in the same operating room?
Exactly. 2 teams of nurses and assistants, but just one of me.
Wow.
It wasn't any big deal, really. So there I was, one day operating on a meteorologist and a chef. Somehow, in my haste, I got the scalpels mixed up, and a minuscule amount of brain tissue from each patient came in contact with the other. When they awoke from the surgery, it seemed that the meteorologist could predict when meatballs were ready to serve without the aid of a cooking thermometer.
And the chef?
Not only could he make beef bourguignon, he could also make it rain. And so I realized, and I say this in all modesty, I had made the most fantastic, amazing, and wonderful discovery in the history of medicine. It is possible to aggregate brain tissue to create a whole that is much greater than the sum of the parts.
Really?
Mr. Conklin, can you imagine the possibilities? Given the right assortment of brains, I could create the ultimate intelligence. And then by adding it to my own brain, I could become even more brilliant than I am right now. And I cannot stress it enough that I say this in all modesty.
Say, is that why I could speak French? Because I ate French brains? Hey, wait a minute, I can't remember any French now.
That's because you ate French brains. The effect is temporary. Until you digest them, poof. No more French brains. For the effect to be permanent, the brain matter must be grafted together.
Oh, okay, so you're saying you want to add my brain to this intellectual amalgamation?
Precisely.
But why my brain? What can I possibly add to your creepy collection?
Your computer skills.
What?
Yes, you see, I'm very good at surgery, medical stuff, that sort of thing. But with a computer, I'm like a drunken 3-legged elephant trying to dance on a bed of banana peels. With your computer skills...
You can control the internet!
Well, I don't know about that, but I could set up and maintain my own website and save some money.
Doctor, I think we're just wasting time. Your grand project is far too important for this. It doesn't matter enough.
Yes, I suppose you're right, Nurse Eloise. Though it was nice to explain it to an outsider, and it is very helpful to me.
In what way, Doctor?
It helps me clarify and refine my plans, and gives me an opportunity to practice my presentation for the World Brain Surgeons Association Symposium next month.
I think we're running out of time. Perhaps we should operate now.
Don't rush on my account.
All right, Nurse Eloise, let's get to work.
Wait a minute, aren't you gonna put me under?
Why should we? Can you feel your head?
No.
Local anesthesia is so much cheaper. Knife!
Hey!
Fork!
Wait!
Lobster bib.
What?
Nurse Eloise, can you help me? I can never get these things tied around my neck.
All right, Miss Montague.
Mrs.
All right, Mrs. Montague, step away from the doctor. Put down the lobster bib.
Wendy!
Mrs. Conklin.
What are you two up to in here?
Mrs. Conklin, you're too late. We're operating on your husband. I want his brain.
Who are all those people out there watching your evil doing?
Duh, it is an operating theater.
Wendy! Help! They want to add my brain to an aggregate super brain.
Ha! That was your first mistake, Dr. Bellingham. You should have gone for my brain instead.
What?
Yes. Oh, sure. Charles is a pretty good computer programmer.
Pretty good.
Oh, let it go, dear. But Dr. Bellingham, I have 6 doctoral degrees. Medicine, computer science, philosophy, nuclear physics, architecture, and gardening.
How could I not have known about you?
You think you are so clever, Miss Conklin.
Mrs.
Mrs. Conklin, I want your brain. I must have it.
You'll never get it, Doctor. You'd have to catch me first.
No problem. Renfrew.
Yes, master.
Seize her. Eloise, help Renfrew.
Yes,
Yes,
master.
master.
Oh, I'm afraid that won't help, Doctor. You see, I also have double black belts in judo, karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, and capoeira. And I can dance lambada, both parts at the same time, without hurting myself. I've been classified top secret by the U.S. Department of Defense.
Renfrew, Eloise, get her.
I've got her.
Missed!
Ah!
Nanny, nanny, nanny.
Eloise, that was the neurodesensitizer machine.
Sorry.
Be more careful.
Sorry, Doctor. Ooh, I feel faint.
Hey, I'll get her. Whoop, whoop, oh!
Nice trip, Charles. That foot couldn't have been better placed.
Renfrew, do you have any idea how much that X-ray machine cost me?
Sorry, Doctor. Ooh. Look at the little birdies.
You two idiots are going to bankrupt me.
You're already morally bankrupt.
Fine, I'll just have to do it myself.
Stand back, Doctor. You don't dare come near me. You see what I'm holding, don't you?
Ha! You think I'm afraid of a couple of defibrillator paddles?
Applied strategically, something that you should never try at home, I could electrocute you with them.
Yes, you could, if they were plugged in. I've got you now. Ah! Ooh! Ee! Ooh! Ah! Ah! Oh!
Did I mention being the world champion ping pong player 3 years in a row?
Wendy, you've saved me.
Of course, Charles. You know I would never let that mean old doctor take your brain.
Wendy, I'm sorry I doubted you. I was afraid you'd had too much champagne and you were fast asleep.
Nonsense. I'm always on my guard, especially for you.
Wendy, could you get me out of this vice?
Oh, sure. Here.
Much better. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome, darling.
Who would have guessed such fiendish things were taking place in a hotel?
Yes, too bad, really. He was a little late in his discoveries.
What do you mean?
There's an American doctor who's way ahead of Bellingham here.
Really?
Yep. You remember my OBGYN, Dr. Mavis Farnsworth?
You mean she...
How do you think I earned 6 doctorates, learned all those martial arts?
And became a ping pong champion?
No, I was a ping pong champion in high school.
Oh.
It's quite a mess they made here.
Yes, I hope they don't charge us to our room.
Oh, you know, I think it's time we called the authorities and had them haul these fiends and all their garbage away.
You're right, Wendy. Then maybe we can have more of that champagne.
Maybe.
You have been listening to I Want Your Brain, written and directed by Bill Chessman. This program featured Sean Aiton as Charles Conklin, Susan Lorraine as Wendy Conklin, Ryan Terry as Renfrew, Louis Hazeman as Dr. Bellingham, Laura Lee Windsor as Miss Eloise Montague. I guess that's actually Mrs. Sorry. Bill Chessman as the paging voice. Live sound effects were performed by Karen Stilwell and Mary Kidwell. This has been an onstage repertory theater presentation of a Four-Eyed Jacks production, and it was recorded live in December of 2014 at the Martinez Campbell Theater in beautiful downtown Martinez. No champagne was damaged in the making of this program. If you enjoyed this program, please tweet, pin, dig, Yelp, text, blog, email, or post your reactions. Or, if you'd like to do it up old school, talk to people. Thank you for listening.